What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about BCHG and LTCN for Mr. Kansas Plowboy. What's up, Plowboy? We're going to be talking about BCHG, which is the Bitcoin Cash Grayscale Trust, and LTCN, which is the Litecoin Grayscale Trust as well. So moving on from that, let's start it off with BCHG. That's the one you requested. We're just going to be doing LTCN as well because I think, a lot of people who know about BCHG, they're also interested in LTCN. So you wanted me to show some fibs, some like overall fibs as to what the potential highs could be for this cycle. So let's do that. Let's take the all-time high to the relative low, the all-time low that we just had. And look at that, man. Already showing significance on your 382. I like this. This implies that you're going to see significance as you go higher. The 382, the 236, very important level. Seeing a rejection here, finding support on your 236, classic maneuver, especially when talking about moving up to the 618, 69 area. In my experience, everybody is very focused on the 618. It's the golden ratio, right? It deserves focus. It's a very focusable focal point, but in my experience, you do tend to go a little bit past it, especially in lower cap things, which I guess this doesn't have a market cap, but you could tip it, you could wick right up to it, but generally I would expect that you do go a little bit past it, and that's why I have this 6.9 thrown on there, because sometimes, often enough, I know I've showed it plenty of times on these videos, that we do actually see the 6.9 come into effect. So, looking at this here, I think your next move genuinely is somewhere up at around this $8 to $11.77 zone. That's why I'm emphasizing it so much. I want to look at this weekly period here. Actually, sorry, we'll go to the monthly. Talking about the new highs. If this chart is to see new all-time highs by the end of this cycle, which I think it is, I think it will, you could see the price of this thing being worth $250, maybe even $1,541. Yes, that sounds ridiculous, but man, from top to bottom here, the 1618 to the 1272, this is your expected zone. It's your realm of expectations whenever it comes to extensions, right? You could go higher. You absolutely could go higher. I doubt that you see prices this high. I don't even think Bitcoin Cash is going to see price, but it's possible. Anything's possible. There are some ridiculous premiums on this thing. I don't know what the ratio is for the premium or for the amount of Bitcoin Cash that's owned versus the price, right? With Litecoin, I'm pretty sure it's like 0.83 or 0.86 something, right? 0.84 to every Litecoin that's owned. I don't know what it is for Bitcoin Cash, but all in all, a 100x is absolutely possible in this thing. If not, a multi-100x, completely possible. And it looks like you're gearing up for that right now, even from the current price, let alone, from the low, we're talking, let's see, what would that be? That'd be like an 800x to, ridiculous, man. We're talking like thousands of x. Whoever bought that low is maybe going to kill it. Even if it doesn't hit that, it just hits that 1272. That's not bad. But again, in the more immediate term, over the coming months, probably, if I had to guess, maybe by halfway through next year, I would think that you see prices at like 8 to 1177 would totally be possible. If Bitcoin Cash breaks out and does some bullish things, this thing is going to do some bullish things as well. So just be prepared for that. Looking at the weekly here, very strong weekly RSI. You are grinding this 382, man. This is good looking, man. Like, honestly, you might be getting ready to move up now. And just because I have projections up here doesn't mean that I think it's going to happen today, tomorrow. This is still the weekly chart. So this, coming up, if we were to kind of follow this line all the way up here, that puts you in May of next year. Okay, so that would be post-halving that you would see these prices, And maybe it's not exactly like that. Maybe you break, you kind of move sideways again, break out some more, move sideways, and then you have your move up, something like that. Who knows how it's going to look, but I'm just saying at a steady trajectory for what we have already, that would take us toward like the middle of next year already. So it's not going to happen like tomorrow, probably not by the end of this year, but at some point, I do think right now that we're making a move up there. Things do look good. Very strong weekly RSI. Very strong daily RSI. You're grinding this 382 out, man. It's just a matter of time. And I would think with this, what's good for this is probably good for Bitcoin Cash, or what's good for Bitcoin Cash is good for this as well. So this might be telling of the things to come. You did have a double bottom here. You are kind of forming a mischievous looking double top here, but I don't think it's actually going to be a double top. I think you're actually in this channel where you're forming higher lows and higher highs. You're probably getting ready to form your next higher high, which might be at this high. It might be a little bit above that high, but all in all, things look pretty good. Top to bottom here, 1618, 1272, that's around 340 to 457. Probably find some turbulence in there. 2272 lines up with that 1618. Love to see it. What else we got? That might be it for this thing, man. You kind of have an unconventional inverse head and shoulders pattern, don't you? I forget what they call this. It might actually be called an unconventional inverse head and shoulders, but you can see you've got your head and your shoulders right here, left shoulder, right shoulder, your head. Technically, the measure move on this would be, something probably like this, I guess. Let's see. And you hit that, man. You barely actually missed it. You fell just short of that, right? But that's a pretty spot on measure move there, man. Pretty damn spot on. So definitely higher. I think that when you break up higher, you break out of this zone, you break that high, you break this high, you're probably going to go again somewhere around, I would think, anywhere from around like 440, let's say 420 to maybe up to like $8, something like that, in a very, very short amount of time. Looks really good, man. Back in like this little previous area right here, resistance and support points. If you were to put like a line at the bottom here, if I sound funny, man, it's because I'm sick. Top to bottom, yeah, 420 literally to 762, previous low here as well. It would make sense, and you could go higher than that, but I think more or less, immediately speaking, in the months to come, probably before the end of Q1, I would think you end up in this range. By the end of the year, yeah, it's possible, but I want to keep it a safe bet. I would say, maybe by the end of the year you can be closer to this line, but by the end of Q1, maybe you're closer to this line, or at least somewhere in this area. So all I got to say for BCH is it looks good. Let's go over those overall fibs one more time, because I know that's the thing you requested. Top to bottom here. Again, with this look, I'm very convinced that you'd go up to your 618, 69 area. And overall, if you see new all-time highs, we're looking at anything from $250 to $1,541. It might sound ridiculous, but absolutely possible. Completely possible, and prices beyond that are even possible. So crazy things can happen with this for sure. So moving on from there, BCHG, let's go to LTCN here. LTCN with some crazy stuff. I had someone tell me that like prices above $100, or maybe it was like above $500 or no. I forget when it was, but someone commented that prices above $1,000 for this thing it's impossible. I'm dreaming. It's never going to happen. Well, I just want to say, because I forget, I know you guys comment, you tell me enough times that LTCN, I think it's, let's just look it up, man. Ratio of LTC to LTCN, if it'll tell me. It doesn't tell me. Did I read it on here? It won't tell me. Maybe it does tell me, but I'm ignorant right now, man. I don't know what to look for. Holdings per share, $6.13 per share. I don't understand. Someone told me it was like 0.8 something. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay, and I've heard that enough times to believe that that's pretty true, right? It's got to be like 0.8 something. Litecoin itself has never seen a price much above $420. This thing has already been at a price of $510. Now, I don't know if they changed that ratio. I mean, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I'm just saying, like, this all-time high is already higher, significantly higher than Litecoin's current all-time high. So if Litecoin, I have projections that Litecoin is going to be worth multiple thousands of dollars. Litecoin itself will be multiple thousands of dollars. Is it possible that this thing could be worth multiple thousands of dollars? Absolutely. Absolutely it is, man. From top to bottom here, you got this nice double bottom too. I know it doesn't look like it so much on the monthly chart, but if you look at the weekly, yeah, little double bottom action going on there. Beautiful. Little double tap on this 236, probably getting ready to break it. Very bullish looking weekly RSI, man. But back to the monthly here. Your minimum extension would take you all the way up to $2,300. $15,600. I don't know if you see that. That sounds a bit ridiculous, but man, this thing has tremendous potential. Absolutely it does. So all in all, right now you're probably looking, keep it more ground level. You're at $6.90 right now. You're probably moving up to 16.66, somewhere in there. A little bit above that wouldn't be too crazy, actually. Kind of a checkpoint right here before you went lower, so maybe it'll be a checkpoint before you go higher. And ultimately, you're going to be working your way up to about $61 to $91. Again, probably in that same time frame that Bitcoin Cash, BCHG, works its way up to its 61869. So all in all, bullish things for LTCN. I think I've said that I like BCHG more than LTCN, but man, I might like this more. I don't know, man. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to have far more tremendous growth in this cycle than Litecoin will, but maybe LTCN sees more growth than BCHG does. The daily RSI is strong, the weekly RSI is strong. You look like you're at a point where you want to break out, essentially. Some people might call this a double top. I don't think it is, man. I don't think if this was a double top that you'd be that much higher, for one, and for two, you would be bullishly engulfing on this week here, like on the last Friday of the stock of the month that you have for this thing, right? Because Friday, the next coming Friday, is going to be December 1st. So all in all, I think this shit's bullish. I think it looks very, very bullish. Maybe you pull back. With that being said, maybe you pull back to about $6 or something like that and then continue to go higher. Maybe you don't, though. Maybe you're about to break out as well. So that's all I got to say, man. I don't know if I got to say anything else. Yeah, so if you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. I appreciate all of you for coming. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.